know, it is not easy being a bird. But what you gonna do, huh? I guess we birds are born losers. Now, just to put the record straight, listen to this. When we go splitting out across the sky, somehow we seem to make the buckshot fly. Folks keep objecting to our passing by. Man, it is tough to be a bird. When we are in a tree and singing loud, 'cause we are happy and we look so proud, we take a beating from the slingshot crowd. Man, it is tough to be a bird. With BBs, they bang us, they even boomerang us. From eagles to sparrows, they shaft us with the arrows. They snare us, they trap us, and in a cage they clap us. Then what they think we need is last week's paper to read. They chase us off the statues we like best. They take our eggs and sometimes eat our nest. They pull our feathers out and call us dressed. Man, it is tough to be a bird. Yeah, we birds were born losers, all right. Would you believe we started out as fish? No, kid. We were part of a prehistoric group called Ostrocoderms. Then we slowly evolved into lobe fins. We could live part of the time in water and part of the time on the land. Now, quite some time later, we acquired some feet. We was tetrapods. When our hind legs began to develop, we became decodonts. Next, as proavises, we were soon running, climbing, and leaping around pretty good. Then one day, we acquired some nice, fluffy feathers, and we really started to look and feel like birds. They called us Archaeopteryx. After going through a few more awkward stages, we finally developed into this fine, feathered specimen, me. Of course, some of my relatives did not turn out as pretty, but unfortunately, we cannot all be a winner. Funny thing, but as I look back at the past 300 million years, I know exactly why it has been tough to be a bird. Our troubles really began with man. I mean, like you people out there. It seemed you could do anything most of the other animals could do. You could run, you could jump, you could climb, you could swim, and you even thought you could... You thought you could fly. And that is when you people started to give us trouble. When you realized you could not fly, you just had to respect us birds. We became an integral part of your life. Like in the early Egyptian language. Like, hairstyles for the queens. Like, falcons for the kings. It is well known that when Julius Caesar was looking for a symbol to represent his two empires, nothing seemed to please him. Until we birds came up with this two-headed eagle idea. Et tu, Brutus. Likewise. When early armies met for a battle, they depended on us birds to decide whether they would fight or not. They used the sacred chicken and some sacred chicken feed. The sacred chicken was offered the sacred chicken feed. If the sacred chicken ate the sacred chicken feed, that meant there would be a fight. If the sacred chicken refused, there was no fight. Which is how we started the expression, to chicken out. Educational, is it not? As your esteem for us birds grew, so did your legends about us. For instance, this here rock was just an ordinary bird. Every time you told a story about him, you kept making him bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Until finally he was carrying an elephant over the Alps. And then there was this tale that you told about this indestructible phoenix bird. You claim that if he got burned up, out of his ashes, a brand new bird would rise again. Another one of your myths was about this thing called the harpy, who had a beautiful vulture's body with a lady's head. Yuck. Oh, boy, was it a laugh when this guy named Icarus thought all he had to do to fly was paste some feathers on his arms with some wax. You know, this nearly worked. That is until his wings melted from the extreme heat of the sun. By now, you humans had become pretty frustrated. You thought if you could not fly, you would dump the problem into the laps of the gods. What a mess. Now think about this. If it were not for us birds, all you people out there would not be here today. You see, there was this fellow Noah. He sent this dove out to look for land. When the bird returned with an olive branch, Noah knew it was okay for him and all the animals to come out 2 by 2. Lions, elephants, mices, zebras, giraffes, mustangs, geeses, and lice. I got news for you. We birds were used by your early explorers as navigators because we usually flew in the direction of land. You remember what Columbus said, don't you? Follow that the bird. And Leif Erikson? Follow the bird. Both these boys claim to be the first to set foot in the New World. But we birds know who was here first. The problem of how to fly like a bird was still unsolved, so you called in the young genius Leonardo da Vinci. After spying on us birds, he designed a contraption that was supposed to fly like us. You see, even a genius could not figure out how we birds do it. To show you how preoccupied you have been with us birds, you made us an indispensable part of your everyday language. To elucidate, getting the bird, yard bird, bird brain, lame duck, bird dog, gooseneck, dovetail. Your literary tastes left a lot to be desired, too. That is, until we birds provided the necessary inspiration. For instance, it was a well-known fact that Edgar Allan Poe was having his troubles. Until a certain raven came along to make him a genius.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary.
Quote the raven, nevermore. Now, when it comes to music, what would a song be without a bird in it? Like Bird in a Gilded Cage. Oh, let's all sing like the birdies sing.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
When the red robin. Listen to the mockingbird. When the buffalo come back from Capistrano. Buffalo! See what I mean? You gotta have birds in a song. Meanwhile, man was back at the old drawing board, still trying to figure out how we birds managed to get off the ground. You saw the stuff to which our names are linked. I bet you never even smiled or blinked. Guess you desire we should be extinct. Man, it is tough to be a bird. Although we want to live a life serene and keep our feathers and our noses clean, with human population on the scene, man, it is so tough to be Is that so? 193,865,936,432. You know, it is estimated that there are over 100 billion birds in the world and over 8,500 different species. But unfortunately, there are some species that no one will ever see again. I am referring to birds like the passenger pigeon, the heath hen, the great uck, the Carolina parakeet, and the Labrador duck, all extinct. That is the dodo bird. Even now, at this very moment, some of my buddies are on the brink of extinction. Birds like the whooping crane, the trumpeter swan, the peregrine falcon, the California condor. Yeah, and even our own national bird, the bald eagle. All these birds are on the critical list. So in order to save them and the rest of us birds from oblivion, I have started a new thing. It is called Birds Anonymous. Whenever you people feel like you want to shoot or destroy one of us birds, all you have to do is phone us, and we try to talk you out of it. Hello, this is Birds Anonymous. I guess I need a little more time to work it out. But unfortunately, time is running out. However, I wish to state there are some people who do care about us birds. I am referring to the National Audubon Society. Now, how about going on an early morning bird walk to observe some real experienced bird watchers do their thing? I tell you, it is easy to understand why birdwatching has so many fans all over the world. But you know, it disturbs me that a lot of birdwatchers just look for the exotic types. I mean, the more glamorous birds, like this beautiful heron, the lovely snowy egret, the graceful scarlet ibis, the elegant crowned crane, and the proud peacock. Sure, everybody enjoys these beautiful birds. But what about some of the others? I mean the not-so-good-looking ones, like the buzzard. That is because to many people, the buzzard, or turkey vulture, is a very distasteful bird. I say, you people are just prejudiced towards my poor, repulsive, wrinkled, red-skinned, hook-nosed cousin. Because most people think of him as sort of a flying trash can, the buzzard has become the most misunderstood of all the birds. That is, except in a wonderful place called Hinckley, Ohio. For 364 days a year, this sleepy little town lives a very normal life. But on one very special day in March called Buzzard Sunday, thousands of birdwatchers from all parts of the country come here to celebrate the annual return of the buzzards to Hinckley Ridge. No kidding. Just like the swallows return to Capistrano, these buzzards return here to roost just as they and their relatives have done for hundreds of years. The people come by car, by foot, all ages, shapes, and years. The people come by car, by foot, all ages, shapes, and sizes, in any kind of weather, rain or shine, snow or sleet. The whole town makes ready to welcome these beloved birds back from where they have spent their winter. Festivities begin as the first bird watchers arrive for their Buzzard's Day pancake breakfast. Everywhere there is a reminder of who the guest of honor is. For those those who may not get a chance to see the buzzard's return, there is a pet buzzard on hand for close inspection. Meanwhile, out at Buzzard's Roost, as the scheduled time for the buzzard's arrival nears, the traffic is bumper to bumper. This is a great outing for the parents and the young ornithologists. For some kids, it will be their first experience at this historic event. Pennants, balloons, ice cream, all help to ease the tensions while waiting for the bird's arrival. Everybody keeps a sharp lookout. Some await the buzzard's arrival open-eyed. An open mouth, too. A TV camera records a buzzard imitation contest. As the 0 hour approaches, the park naturalist explains how to identify a buzzard. Using a lifelike dummy. Confidentially, this is as close as some of them cared to come to Hinckley's hero. Uh-oh, I think the Rangers have spotted the first arrival. Yeah, it is official. The buzzards have returned to Hinckley Ridge.
When the buzzards return to Hinckley Ridge, oh, every heart is young and gay. With wings outspread, they circle overhead, telling us spring is on its way. In Ohio, while we await our harbingers, in the shelter of the bridge, Mother Nature sends the word. She is giving us the bird. When the buzzards return to Hinckley Ridge,
Thank you. Thank you. My mother thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister, my brother, me, and all the birds thank you. But believe me, folks, it is still tough to be a bird.